Ladies and gentlemen, Quant Networks is a stone cold beast. We are not only talking multi-chain, we're talking multi-ledger with all these legacy connections like can you get it through your thick skull? These partnerships out to Wazoo, Oracle. You're talking about the Fed, BlackRock, IBM, Circle, Capital Markets. You got supply chains. There is just so much happening, and the interoperability that it presents is off the chain.
You lost your color for a minute, now you black again. Yeah, I'm on a blockchain with it, and my blockchain Monkeyz full of octane in them. You know the vibe, plus we shredded than a motherfucker. Yeah, we crash monkeys. Yeah, we crash monkeys. It go Planet of the Apes, gorillas in a mess. All these bad rules all over my shit. It go Planet of...
What is going on, Blockchain Monkeyz? Eagle here, and thank you for coming to my jungle. And first of all, I'm no financial advisor whatsoever, nor am I professional in blockchain technology. But there is one thing that I absolutely will do, and that's give my opinion. So today, we got to get into it. We're talking about Quant, and there's a PDF going around from the IMF that I want to check out. But before we can do that, I'm going to need you to grab that shea butter and rub your hands real vigorously and slide down Twitter. And so coming in hot from Quant, we have our partnership on Blockchain. Verdian explains not only will it be easier for people to send and receive payments, but more importantly, they can access new markets because Blockchain is cross-border. Now check this, the BRIC economies were once tipped to reshape the global financial landscape, but Brazil and the rest of the Latin America's potential have yet to be fully released. Blockchain, a pan-regional blockchain program run by the International Development Bank, has stepped in. Working with Quant, they've launched an initiative using distributed ledger technology to help solve one of the region's most pressing economic issues. Is it hot enough for you? Okay, coming back to Quant, more than 2K have enrolled. Are you next? Sign up for our course on Multiledger, the world's first blockchain agnostic API gateways. And do you understand what they're doing with APIs right now? Because if you don't, I'm gonna show you. Okay, coming back to Quant again. Could new DLT standards enable interoperability and lead to more consumer choices? You tell me.
Consumers and businesses want choice. We don't want to be forced into using one single thing. And the way we see this, evolving is a similar evolution of the internet. This is very nascent. This is very early. But working in collaboration on standards, we have the ISO standard, TC 307, that I helped establish in 2015. And there's...
Did you hear what he just helped establish? Come on with it.
57 countries working on that solely just to standardize DLT technology. And that's a huge effort across the globe. On the protocol level, as Thomas was mentioning, there is an initiative called ODAP, Open Digital Asset Protocol, which is a way to interoperate domestic networks to become cross-border and border.
Do you understand how early you are and where you're at in this thing? Welcome to the rocket.
In a seamless way. And this allows, if you look at the use case and when it comes back to people, it allows you to have your money roam with you anywhere in the world. The same way your mobile is roaming with you anywhere in the world. It works across networks, across protocols, across any frequency. Your money is going to have that same ability and have the security and privacy and all the benefits built in, so you can actually use it safely across any network.
You already know what it is. Coming in hot from Greg Lunt, the BIS just published a 33-page paper called The Future Monetary System. A 33-page paper. Let's go, okay? The paper mentions interoperability 19 times and describes how APIs will be critical in facilitating network effects for digital assets. Does this sound familiar? But it gets even juicier. Bridges getting hacked. Cross-chain bridges have emerged to permit users to transfer coins across blockchains. But as the number of bridges has risen, bridges have been featured prominently in several high-profile hacks. And this is why I love Quant. A system of competing blockchains that are not interoperable but sustained by speculation introduces new risks of hacking and theft. Do you see the levels of security that this man goes through? Oh my goodness. Now come over here to API standards. The future monetary system builds on the division of roles between the central bank and the private sector. On top of this comes new standards such as APIs that enhance the interoperability of services associated network effects. Do you understand the communication that's going on with Quant in these APIs? Goodness gracious here. Now let's dig in here. On top of this traditional division of labor comes new standards such as application programming interfaces, API, see glossary, that greatly enhance the interoperability of services and associated network effects. It is so on. Okay, so before I let you go, can I dig into this IMF PDF real quick? A foundation of trust. Central banks should harness crypto's technical wizardry to enable a rich monetary ecosystem. Do you see the direction that these people are going? Digital innovation is upending both money and payments. Cryptocurrencies and decentralized finance, DeFi, are built on the premise of decentralization, aiming to replace traditional financial intermediaries, bankers, brokers, custodians with technical solutions. The remarkable rise of cryptocurrencies have captured the popular imagination and offers a glimpse of new technical capabilities. These include the ability to program payments. Programmability is what Quant does best, okay? Combine different operations into one transaction, composability. What else do they do? And generate a digital representation of money and assets tokenization. Now, I'm not saying there's a connection at all, but it just looks like it. Now, when I'm looking over here at chart 2, it says monetary flora. Central banks can be seen as the solid trunks of trees in the global monetary ecosystem. You got here a central bank here and a central bank over here, and you got all these connecting APIs. We're talking about tokenized assets, deposits, open banking, credit cards. And then you got these two separate central banks interacting between each other. Like I said before, it's not just multi-chain, this is multi-ledger. And when you're looking at these APIs, I have no choice but to come on over here to Quant. I'm looking at Quant, I see the Overledger operating system, and I see down here these payment APIs and these banking APIs. Do you understand what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? And so coming back to this IMF PDF we have here, in conclusion, at the global level, central banks can link their wholesale CBDCs together to allow banks and payment providers to carry out transactions directly in central bank money of multiple currencies. This is made possible with so-called permission distributed ledger technology, restricted to trusted parties. Who does that sound like to you? Quant! Ladies and gentlemen, there's a gorilla in the room, so you better hide your bananas. Come on, subscribe! And we will all see each other on the moon.
Cause it's the standard in this bitch. XRP. I went to YouTube University, and now they mocking me with no degree. We saying by the swift, keep it walking. Respect your elders in these bushes. Bitcoin is talking.
You don't have to be rich to be taking advantage of this. This was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II.
Blockchain. We talking about an intellectual choo-choo train. It's DLT up in these streets, man. That's why we rip all on that blockchain.